All right, buckle up, everybody, because today we're going to take a deep dive into the legendary Toyota Supra.
Ooh, yeah.
You sent us a ton of great stuff.
Yeah.
Articles and specs, and even some pretty passionate comments from some Supra fans out there.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's clear that this is a car that has a really special place in a lot of people's hearts.
Absolutely.
So we're going to go through the whole history, all 5 generations.
Right.
And I think you're going to find it pretty interesting.
Yeah. The Supra's history is really something else.
Yeah.
It's a story of ambition and really just some incredible engineering.
Yeah.
And, maybe even a little bit of Hollywood magic sprinkled in there.
Oh, yeah. A little bit later. We'll definitely get to that.
Looking forward to it.
But for now, let's rewind all the way back to 1978.
Right.
And, a lot of people don't realize that the Supra didn't actually start as its own model.
Right.
It was actually a spin-off of the second generation Celica. It's almost like Toyota was saying, hey, we can actually make something even sportier,
Yeah, they definitely saw an opening there.
Yeah.
The Datsun Z cars were kind of the kings of the Grand Tour scene back then.
Right, especially in North America.
Especially in North America.
Yeah.
And Toyota, I think they really wanted to get in on that action.
Yeah, they wanted a piece of that pie.
Exactly. And that's how the Celica Supra was born.
Yeah.
Longer wheelbase, a more powerful inline-6 engine,
Right.
and a design that I think really hinted at the performance that was to come.
Yeah, and that smooth inline-6 would really go on to become like a super hallmark, right?
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And what's funny is that I was reading that in the UK.
Okay.
They only got like 100 Supras per month back then.
Wow.
Talk about instant exclusivity.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah,
I mean, no wonder it's started to build that devoted following right from the start.
Right from the get-go.
So these first couple generations, the Celica Supra years,
Right.
it was all about refining that formula.
Yeah.
Pushing the boundaries of what a sporty Celica could really be.
Exactly. They were laying the groundwork, establishing that Supra DNA, that more refined, more powerful, driver-focused machine.
Yeah.
And plus, they were starting to play around with those design elements.
Oh, yeah.
Like those retractable headlights and those flared wheel arches.
So cool.
That would really give the Supra its own look.
Yeah, that distinct athletic look.
Exactly.
So then in 1982, the second generation Supra became the first one to be officially sold in Europe.
That's right.
And it featured a 2.8-liter twin-cam engine, which was, a pretty big deal for performance back then.
Huge.
It was like Toyota was saying, hey, Europe, get ready for some serious Japanese muscle.
Yeah. It was a statement for sure.
It was.
And then just 4 years later in 1986, the Supra took its biggest leap yet.
Yeah.
It became completely independent from the Celica.
That's right.
The Celica went front-wheel drive.
Yeah.
But the Supra, they doubled down on rear-wheel drive and really just fully embraced its destiny as a grand tourer.
Yeah, and that's when we're talking about the A70, the third generation.
Yep.
This is where things start to get really interesting.
For sure.
Not only did the styling get even more aggressive,
Yeah.
but under the hood, Toyota unleashed the legendary 7M GTE turbocharged engine.
Oh, man. That engine.
Yeah.
That was a game changer. It
Yeah.
wasn't just powerful.
Right.
It was packed with technology that was way ahead of its time.
Yeah, like what?
Well,
Yeah.
for example, it was Toyota's first distributorless engine in the U.S.
Oh, wow.
It used coil packs and a cam position sensor.
Huh.
And that meant a more precise spark, better fuel efficiency,
Right.
and fewer moving parts to wear out.
Yeah, so it was really like a win-win.
Exactly.
And speaking of performance, the limited edition 3.0 GT Turbo A
Oh, yeah.
became the fastest Japanese production car of its time.
It was a beast.
And it really put the Supra on the map.
Definitely.
It also marked the beginning of the Supra's motorsport journey.
That's right.
Racking up wins
Yeah.
and building its reputation on the track as well as the street.
Absolutely. And all of that success really laid the groundwork for what a lot of people consider to be the pinnacle of the Supra lineage.
Yeah.
The fourth generation,
The A80.
the A80, which came out in 1993.
Yeah, this is the Supra that cemented its place in automotive history.
For sure.
The one that truly became an icon.
An icon it is.
Oh, what an icon. I mean, that design.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a futuristic reimagining of the classic Toyota 2000 GT.
It really is.
Sleek aerodynamic.
Immediately recognizable.
Yeah.
A masterpiece of design.
And under that sculpted bodywork lies the legendary 2JZ GTE engine.
Oh, yeah.
the twin turbocharged beast that launched 1,000 tuner dreams.
I mean, this engine was an absolute monster.
It was.
Produced incredible power right out of the box, but its tuning potential was just off the charts.
Yeah.
We're talking Supras pushing over 2,000 horsepower with modifications.
Whoa, 2,000 horsepower. That's just insane.
It's crazy, right?
No wonder the MK4 Supra is so revered.
I mean, it just dominated its rivals,
Yeah.
outperforming cars like the Porsche 911 Turbo.
Wow.
Even earning comparisons to the Aston Martin DB7.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was in a league of its own.
It really was. And, you know, it wasn't just about raw power.
Right.
The A80 Supra became a cultural phenomenon.
It really did, and you can't talk about the MK4 Supra without mentioning its role in the Fast and the Furious franchise.
Exactly. That orange Supra from the first film
Oh, yeah.
became like a symbol of car culture in the early 2000s.
Absolutely.
And it's a big reason why the Supra holds such a special place in the hearts of so many enthusiasts,
Yeah.
myself included.
That movie really romanticized Japanese car modification for a whole generation.
Yeah, it did.
It showed just how far you could push these cars, and the Supra became the poster child for that whole movement.
Yeah.
It's no wonder that orange Supra sold for $185,000 at auction.
It's incredible to think about the impact that one car in one movie had on the entire car scene.
Yeah, for sure.
But sadly, like all good things, the MK4 Supra's reign came to an end.
Yeah, it did.
By the late 90s, the market for sports coupes was shrinking,
Right.
and stricter emission standards were making it harder and harder for these performance cars to survive.
Yeah, it was a tough time for enthusiasts, for sure.
It was.
The Supra was discontinued in the U.S. in 1998,
Yeah.
and then worldwide in 2002.
It felt like the end of an era.
It really did.
Yeah, it really did. But the Supra's story, it wasn't over yet.
Not even close.
After a 17-year hiatus,
Wow.
Toyota brought it back
They did?
in 2019.
Yeah.
And this fifth generation, the A90,
Yeah.
well, let's just say it stirred up some serious debate amongst enthusiasts.
I mean, it was bound to happen.
Yeah.
You know, this new Supra, it wasn't a purely Toyota creation.
Right.
It was developed in partnership with BMW,
Right.
sharing a platform and some components with the Z4.
Yeah, and some purists saw that as like a betrayal
I can see that.
of the Supra's heritage,
Yeah.
while others, you know, were open to this whole idea of a collaboration.
Right.
I mean, we even have that comment from John Monkman,
Oh, yeah.
who talked about his heavily modified third-generation Supra.
Right.
And he really emphasized the emotional connection
Yeah.
that fans had with those earlier models.
Yeah.
That sense of raw, unfiltered Japanese performance.
Yeah, I get it, you know.
Yeah,
Those early Supras, they were raw.
yeah,
They were demanding.
for sure.
And they hold a special place, you know, in the hearts of a lot of people.
They do.
But the automotive landscape, you know, it's changed so much since then.
Yeah.
You know, collaborations like this one
Yeah,
between Toyota and BMW are becoming more and more common.
right,
It's a way for automakers to share costs,
right.
to develop that cutting-edge technology,
Yeah.
and to ultimately stay competitive in a global market.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You know?
I mean, can you imagine a brand new Supra today
Right.
without this collaboration?
It might not have been financially feasible.
Right, exactly. But let's dive into the details of this fifth generation.
Okay.
What's it like to actually drive?
Well, despite its shared DNA with BMW,
Right.
the new Supra, it's still very much a Toyota
Okay.
in terms of that driving experience.
Okay.
It's a sharp, agile sports car
Okay.
with a real focus on handling and driver engagement.
I like it.
And it's powered by BMW's B58 engine,
Okay.
which is a turbocharged inline-six.
Right?
That's no slouch in the performance department.
Yeah, it's a pretty sweet engine.
It is.
You know, it's smooth, it's powerful, it's responsive.
You got it all.
And while it may not have that legendary tuning potential of the 2JZ,
Yeah.
there's still plenty of room for customization
Oh, for sure.
and performance upgrades.
Absolutely.
So it might not be a direct continuation of the MK4,
Right.
but it's still a thrilling sports car
It is.
that carries the Supra name with pride.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember that every generation of Supra
Okay.
has faced its share of criticism. You know, the second generation
Yeah.
was criticized for being too similar to the Celica.
Right.
The third generation had to prove itself as a standalone model.
Yeah.
And the fourth generation eventually fell victim to changing market trends.
Right.
And now the fifth generation is kind of navigating, you know, the complexities of its BMW connection.
Yeah.
It's a pattern almost,
It is.
like a rite of passage
Yeah.
for each new Supra.
Yeah. It's almost as if each generation has to earn its stripes,
It does.
you know?
To prove itself worthy of that Supra name.
And in doing so, it contributes to the car's ever-evolving story.
Exactly. And speaking of stories,
Yeah.
we've touched on the MK4's Hollywood fame.
Yeah.
But the Supra's impact on car culture, it goes way deeper than that.
It does for sure.
Especially for the MK4.
Yeah.
The aftermarket tuning scene is absolutely massive.
It's a world where mechanics and engineers become artists.
They do.
Pushing the boundaries of performance and aesthetics.
The 2JZ GTE engine is a tuner's dream.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredibly robust and capable of handling insane amounts of horsepower.
Yeah, we're talking about Supras running 10-second quarter miles.
I know, it's crazy.
Pushing the limits of physics.
It's amazing. And those high horsepower builds,
Yeah.
they are definitely impressive.
They are.
But what always gets me is the ingenuity
Yeah.
and the creativity of the super tuning community.
Yeah.
You know, people are constantly coming up with new ways
Yeah.
to modify and personalize these cars.
They're treating the Supra like a blank canvas
They are.
for their automotive dreams.
Absolutely. And that passion
Yeah.
is a testament to the car's enduring appeal.
It's more than just sheet metal and horsepower.
It is.
It's a cultural icon
It is.
that inspires a sense of community and this shared passion.
And let's not forget the Supra's impact on motorsport.
Oh, yeah.
It has a rich history of competition,
It does.
from drag racing and drifting
Yeah.
to circuit racing and rallying.
I mean, this is a car that can do it all.
It
And it's earned respect in every motorsport discipline it's entered.
You're absolutely right. And that racing pedigree, you know, it just further solidifies its status as a true performance car.
So we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
From the Supra's humble beginnings as a Celica variant
Right.
to its status as a global icon.
It's come a long way.
We've explored its engineering innovations,
We have.
its cultural significance, and the passionate debates
Yeah.
it continues to generate.
It's a car that gets people talking.
But there's one question that keeps coming back to me.
What's that?
What does the future hold for the Supra?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. Will the fifth generation manage to forge its own legacy, separate from its predecessors and its BMW connection?
I guess only time will tell.
Yeah,
But what's certain is that that Supra name carries weight.
it does.
It represents a heritage of performance innovation
Yeah.
and a relentless pursuit of driving thrills.
And as long as Toyota stays true to that spirit, I'm confident that the Supra will continue to captivate enthusiasts
I agree.
for generations to come.
Absolutely. The Supra story is far from over.
It isn't.
It's a story that will continue to unfold with every new generation,
Right.
every new innovation,
Yeah.
and every new enthusiast who falls in love with this iconic machine.
It really is incredible. You know, thinking about the Supra's journey,
Yeah,
it's a real testament to its staying power.
it is.
You know, it's gone through so many changes over the years,
Right.
embraced different technologies, even collaborated with a rival, and yet it's never lost that core essence
Yeah,
of what makes a Supra a Supra.
that's true.
You know, it's always been about pushing those boundaries.
Right.
Whether it's through like cutting edge engineering,
Yeah.
stunning performance,
Yeah,
or, you know, just its undeniable impact on car culture.
It's more than just a car. It's a symbol of automotive passion, you know?
Yeah.
It's a reflection of how our relationship with cars has evolved over decades.
And I think a big part of the Supra's appeal
Yeah.
is that it speaks to multiple generations.
Right.
You have those who grew up with the Celica Supras who
Yeah.
appreciate that classic Grand Tourer vibe.
Right.
And then there's the generation that came of age during the MK4's reign,
Right.
who were captivated by that aggressive styling and that tuner-friendly nature.
Absolutely.
And now you have like a whole new generation
Yeah.
discovering the Supra through the A90,
Right.
drawn to its modern performance and that undeniable Supra lineage.
It's a car that bridges generations.
It really is, and that's a powerful thing.
It is.
And let's not forget the passionate community
Oh, yeah.
that surrounds the Supra.
It's huge.
You know, this global network of enthusiasts, mechanics, tuners, racers.
All united by their love for this one car.
It's pretty amazing.
It is.
They're the ones who keep the Supra spirit alive,
Yeah.
whether it's through meticulously restoring a classic model, pushing the limits of performance with a heavily modified build,
Yeah.
or just simply sharing their passion with others
Yeah.
at car meets and online forums.
It's a community that's constantly innovating,
Yeah.
sharing knowledge, and just celebrating everything that
Yeah.
makes the Supra special.
And that sense of community
Yeah.
is what truly elevates the Supra.
I think so.
Beyond just being a car.
It's a shared experience.
Yeah.
A common ground for people from all walks of life
Right.
who are united by their love for driving.
And their appreciation for this automotive icon.
Absolutely.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into the Toyota Supra,
Right.
I think it's safe to say this car's earned its place in automotive history.
It has.
You know, it's a story of ambition, innovation,
Right.
and the unwavering pursuit of performance.
That's right.
It's a story that's been shaped by engineers, designers, racers,
And enthusiasts.
and enthusiasts alike.
It's a story that continues to unfold
It does.
with each passing generation.
And it's a story that we're all privileged to be a part of.
We are.
So for all of you listening,
Yeah.
we hope this deep dive has given you a new appreciation for the Toyota Supra.
It's a car that deserves to be celebrated.
It does.
And its legacy will continue to inspire for many years to come.
Absolutely.
So,
Who knows what the future holds?
yeah, who knows?
Maybe someday we'll be back here diving into the details of a 6th-generation Supra.
I would love that.
Right.
Marveling at its evolution
Yeah.
and the enduring power of this automotive legend.
Until then, keep the passion for driving alive
Keep it alive.
and never stop exploring that fascinating world of cars.
There you go.
That's it for this deep dive.
All right.
Thanks for joining us.
See you next time.
And remember, it's not just about the destination.
Right.
It's about the journey.